that encourages people to vote their values is an appropriate one. However, what has not been mentioned this morning and has rarely been mentioned throughout this presidential election season is the issue of election integrity. And unfortunately, what we have are problems that have been compounded. Problems from 2000, again in 2004, and now in 2008. Different problems, unresolved problems, while the congressional majority, the Democratic majority in Congress had the opportunity to address these issues, they have not done so. So for example, for those of you who are not familiar with the film American Blackout, it methodologically demonstrates how the election in 2000 and again in 2004, how those two presidential elections were stolen, and the use of certain political constructs in order to disfranchise certain populations. Now, aside from the fact that we don't have election integrity, or didn't have it in 2000, where 1 million black people went to the polls and they voted, but their votes were not even counted. And so we should never forget the fact that there was massive disfranchisement. 1 million blacks alone whose votes were not counted, and yet there are some who would like to talk about stealing elections. Basically, there has to be election integrity. Secondly, in the 2004 election, again, what you see is a situation with the purposeful manipulation of electronic voting machines. Aside from the fact that the electronic voting machines have their inherent problems that have not been resolved from their introduction in 2000. Now in 2008, we have the voter ID laws that have been passed that basically create a two-tiered election system in this country. One for those who show up at the polls on election day with certain sets of requirements, and then yet another less stringent set of requirements for those who mail in their ballots. And then of course we have the voter caging. And the voter caging also targets certain populations of voters. So therefore, we've got severe problems with respect to election integrity, and those need to be addressed in the system and by those who are campaigning it.